Namaste and welcome. With great love and great respect, I wanted to share this with you today. Last week, in my Awakening Healers collective, our community, I shared a practice that's very dear to my heart during these times of first a pandemic and now in the US anyway, significant protests around injustices and that have been going on for some time. And so, the question comes up, what can we do as healers, as light workers, as caring, compassionate people, as peace lovers? What can we do? And personally, this is what I started doing pretty much all day, every day, since hearing about the protests. And I've been teaching it for some years. It's a practice called Ho'oponopono, and it's a Hawaiian shamanic prayer that was taught to this beautiful being, Dr. Hugh Lin, who was a psychologist. And there's a very famous story, it's been running around for years, of his that he worked in a mental hospital for criminally insane. And he wasn't at first sure how to deal with healing anybody or curing anybody or helping them. And so he began this practice. He was taught by a Hawaiian shaman. And it's a very simple, deceivingly simple prayer. And I'll explain some of the concepts of first the story. So he would find within himself something he would read in a file. He didn't even see any of the patients directly. He would open their file and then meditate with this prayer, and it's a clearing practice. And he would apply this process of finding within himself a drop of anger or blame or whatever was going on in the file, and find within himself a piece of that energy. And as he would connect to that similar energy, the anger, the rage, the feeling hurt, whatever it was, he could begin to clear it within his own being, knowing that we are all mirrors. Everything within us is projecting out to our world. And in that knowing of the oneness of all energy, he began to have an impact. The ripple of this man's clearing, Dr. Yulen's clearing, on his own mirror of anything that he was working with, anger or injustice or feeling hurt by someone else, feeling abused, whatever it was, judgments, blame, shame, guilt, all of it that we're all experiencing. He would find that within himself, and one by one, patients were getting better. And eventually they closed this particular hospital. So he became quite famous and he began teaching. And he taught someone, you may know of, Dr. Joe Vitale, who has been promoting his work ever since. And it's brilliant work. And I came across this years ago, and I have to say I didn't get it because it was too simple. The prayer is like, please forgive me. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I love you. And you can say it in any order. And I found that it was just too simple. I didn't really get it until it was explained further. That when you say each of these things, there is a deepening of understanding. But the first understanding is the global concept that we all can take responsibility, that on some energetic inner consciousness level or higher consciousness level, we are all responsible for out there, what's happening out there. And as a healer, I have seen this play out more and more and more, even with animals. I can do this prayer with animals, and a dog that was totally vicious. He had been a puppy mill probably one of the worst abuse cases I'd ever seen. 6 years in a cage, and humans were just beyond heartless. Throwing food, hosing him down, never being touched, never being walked, never being out of a cage. He literally didn't know how to walk. He was deformed. He was so angry, I want to say. That's a human emotion, but he was just so over humans. And everyone said he was too dangerous. And he felt that way to me as well when I met him. I was his last hope. Several vets, after treating bite wounds, said he needs to go to sleep. You know, he will never be okay again. He's too damaged and too aggressive. And so even the foster father, who'd been bitten so many times, he finally said, I don't think we can rehabilitate this dog. So I came over as the last chance. They lived up the street. And this dog, I could tell, had incredible seriousness about his aggression. He was snarling the entire time I sat, and I was thinking that any quick movement on my part, he would go for my throat. I mean, he was serious about his intentions. And I sat and I did this prayer with him, actually. I did this exact thing. I sat with my own space of perhaps not always being as loving as I wanted. I've never abused animals. I had never done that, but I could find within me a place where I could speak these words, I'm so sorry, you know, for all the humans that had done this to you. I can speak for them. I can speak to you from that heart of hearts, from that divine love. And so this is my intention for all of you listening, that I can speak perhaps for those who you would love to hear say this, but never will. Perhaps they're not even alive anymore. I've done this. This has come through, this prayer, this speaking words of healing has come through me in many healing sessions. And I can feel the healing balm of it. And so I'm offering this to all of you who need this today, whenever you're listening, or need the practice for yourselves. So both sides. So here's the idea. This responsibility, it's not blame or fault. You say, well, I'm not prejudiced, and I'm not hurting anyone, and I'm not mistreating dogs, and I could certainly think that that's true for most of you. And yet we can still do this prayer, because responsibility here means the larger, higher concept of everything that we do, frequencies, thoughts, feelings, are all out picturing and creating reality. So in that same vein, we can dismantle those energetics. We can take charge. Able to respond would be how I see responsibility. Not blame and not fault. So that's one key concept to get, all right? The second important concept is to break down the words. So when we say, I'm sorry, I'm not saying, I'm sorry that I did this to you. I'm saying from a deeper place, I'm so sorry that perhaps within me there's a space of unconsciousness or unawareness or bias or prejudice that I'm not aware of even. But it may have been handed down. This might be programming from the ancestors, you know, that's handed down. And it may not be about race or what's going on now. It may be about something else. So we can all tackle inner bias, inner judgment. I have found that my greatest spiritual accomplishment in the last 10 years has been chipping away at judgment. All of the small, medium, and large ones that I have all day long. I begin to work on them, releasing them, letting them go. And that's where the freedom is, beyond the judgments. So it's not about blame and it's not about fault here. It's about being able to respond to and say, I'm sorry to the parts of ourselves that are not perfect, that are not perhaps even known to us, the patterns that are deep within us of bias or privilege or whatever it is that we're seeing this work be about. And so, or pain or hurt or being abused. So all of this, we have, in my frame of reference, we have been everything. We have been both oppressor and oppressed, abuser and abused, you know, the blamer and the victim. We have been it all. So from that space, that consciousness, we say this prayer. Please forgive me is a prayer to, well, it's actually asking for divine intervention here. We don't know how to heal this. I don't know how to heal what's going on in the world. I can't possibly know how to heal everything, even in my own life. But here I open up. Forgive the parts of me that are unaware, that are unperfected, that are misaligned, that are perhaps asleep or unconscious or not fully healed. And I don't always know how to do that. Even healing for 30 years, I can say that. I certainly don't have all the answers here. So please forgive me as a plea for divine intervention, asking for healing for all of it on any level that this is arising. I love you. I find that a lot of this is self-directed. I was saying it with the intention of clearing judgment for all, but I also know that I have to start with me. So I love you is also stepping into that self-love, even if I've made mistakes, even if I have hurt others, intentionally or unintentionally. I'm saying it's okay. Somewhere I have to love myself, and I have to see the divinity in me, as I need to find the divinity in everyone else as well. So I love you is finding that divinity in everyone, both self and others. And finally, thank you. It can be so many things. Gratitude, love and gratitude are some of the highest vibrations on the planet. So saying thank you at the end of this clearing prayer and healing prayer is thanking you for doing this prayer, thanking myself for doing it, thanking God, thanking my higher self for answering the prayer. See? So go deep into it. Don't just take it at surface level. Go deep into what needs healing, what needs speaking. This is a spoken prayer. While you can do it inside, and I did it for my healing community, I realized I needed to do it for all of you, my tribe and beyond. These words need speaking now. And I have found that speaking words of healing like this are immensely powerful. So the dog I mentioned, that was Beyond Hope, that everybody had signed his euthanasia warrant, and rightfully so in their eyes, no judgment here. But because I was able to sit in all of that and hold this higher love, this, and I was afraid of him. He was definitely wanting to hurt me. But I was able to sit with all of that, to listen from a space of love and forgiveness and understanding and compassion, greater than the moment, encompassing all the heartbreak that he went through, all the people that had done that to him that I couldn't really speak for, but I could speak to him for them. And he was able to let it go. A week later, miraculously, he went to see a family, kids, four or five people. And he was able to be in his forever home. He got over all of it, and a week later was in his forever home. So I know this can work for you as well. I just wanted to share that. No matter what you're feeling, no matter what you've been through, go deep with this prayer with me. And please, if any of you need those healing words for yourself, may I be the conduit. This is my prayer, may I be the vehicle for your healing. Even though I was not maybe the one who hurt you, or if I was. May these words be said on behalf of all who need to say them and all who need to hear them. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I am so, so sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I am sorry. So, so sorry. Please, if you can find it in your heart, I can find it in my heart. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. Any order is fine. I am so, so sorry. Say it with me. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm going to go a few more rounds. Go until you feel a shift. I am so, 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 so sorry for eons of injustice, betrayal, anger, judgment, bias, intolerance. Please forgive me. It would be my great honor to be forgiven by you. I love you from my heart, deep, from my heart to your heart. Thank you for healing this prayer, healing this, whatever needs healing. Hearing this prayer, healing came out. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You may get very emotional like I am. Blood over here. I am so, 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 so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I am sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I am so, so sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you. It's getting lighter. I'm going to do one more time. I am so, so sorry for all the hurt and all the pain that has been caused by all the humans. I am so, so sorry. Please forgive me. Asking for divine forgiveness here. If you can't get to forgiveness, it's okay. You don't have to personally. Ask for the divine to forgive through you, for you, with you. Ask for healing to happen here. When you say, I love you, may not be there yet. It's okay. I am there. I meditated a long time this morning. I'm there. I hope you can feel it for yourself, for others. Take it in. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for being open to clearing these energies. Thank you for being willing to listen more deeply, to ask more fervently, to pray more heartfully. Thank you. Thank you for all of our prayers today being heard. Thank you for whatever healing comes from this, whatever love is experienced, whatever release is happening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. And so it shall be. Namaste. I love you.